Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel Haaq Academy. We are delighted to have you here with us. In this video, you're going to learn how to rejuvenate your VAK-R. You might wonder what is this VAK and R. So before you know that, I would like you to read this slide. Hello, I spend a lot of time in studies. I keep revising many times, but still I forget. Very stressful. Who can help me to make my study interesting? Can you just relate this with the learning difficulty of your child or your loved ones? This is what usually a learner goes through. They might be putting in a lot of efforts in studies, but they forget the first step. Don't you agree? The first step is knowing what's your learner type. So in a separate video, we will explain to you how to find out the learner type. You might search for what's my learner type video and you will get all the details there. But to continue with this learning, in this video, we are going to explain how Haaq Academy can help you to do away with these difficulties. So let me take you further with the second slide. Haaq Academy Smart Study Methods, which will eventually help you to recover from all those learning difficulties you possess right now. But I promise you, once you go through the further slides, you would be really thrilled to know how good you can recover and how fast you can recover and how good you can save your study time and how better you can read a lot in less time. Yes, here we go to the next slide. There are only three types of memory inputs for human brain. VAK. V stands for visual, A stands for auditory, K stands for kinesthetic. Visual is the one type of readers who use their eyes, the eyeballs to just move around and observe things. Auditory learners would always require a sound to pass through the ears. Either they read themselves louder, or they take the help of others to read it for them, or they listen through audios. And kinesthetic type of learners would always prefer to write whatever they study, and that's the best way for them to learn so that they feel comfortable and information really got registered in the mind. That's how they go through. And now let's move on to the next one, R. That's called retention. Retention is nothing but the data which you grasped while comprehending, while reading, how long that information stays in your brain, gets retained in your brain. So that's what is called retention. So we are going to basically see here how your processing functions in your brain. First, how you memorize the data and how you store it in your brain, and how fast you could able to recall it, recollect it from your brain. And finally, without stress, how do you manage to do that? Look at this slide. In this slide, we have taken an example of a pre and post assessment of a student who went through this VAKR assessment. You would be amazed at the fact how these data have been really recorded. It's so meticulous and really assures the learner a guaranteed improvement. Look at the graph on the left, the pre-assessment records. You can see visual, auditory, and kinesthetic retentions are very clearly laid with different colors. You can probably figure out what type of a learner is this. Probably your answer is kinesthetic. Yes, you're right. Because that's a graph which is running a little smoother. And of course, the time taken was almost the same. And also the number of words which were memorized and recall is better. So let's look at this post assessment. You don't find any zigzag curves. They're also smooth, and you can see the time span is so minimal. Yes? Look at the time taken to memorize. It shows clearly the pre-assessment 15 minutes time has been taken to memorize, whereas in the post-assessment it's just 4.36 or 6.43 of two different patterns of words. That's really amazing, isn't it? You must be really thrilled to see that how so much time reduction has happened. That's a wonder of this particular method of learning. You save study time and you improve on concentration and grasping. Fantastic. That's what really make you so impressed about this type of recording. Look at that. Now, when we look at the recalling pattern, a random with a lot of stress. This is what has actually happened. You can see, look at the stress curve, a lot of zigzag. So you are basically stressing your brain. Probably when you have been given 30 words and when you asked to recall, you really found it. The first maybe 5, 6 words or 10 words was flowing very nicely. Of course, randomly, not in the orderly manner. And later on, you could have probably noticed there is a slowdown in your recall time. And also, as you go further and further, you almost give up thinking and becoming tired. So that's called stressed way of recalling. Now look at this post assessment. So smooth flow, isn't it? Yeah, wonderful. Look at that. The stress curve is so smooth. One more thing you would have noticed here, forward and reverse as well. Whereas in the pre-assessment, even going forward itself was a tough job. And whereas here, it was so smooth. It's like a cakewalk. You had forward as well as reverse very smoothly. That's what the curve shows. Now look at that. You reduced stress levels and your imagination and focus has improved. Amazing, isn't it? Yes, very good. If you like this, don't forget to click the like button and also pass on this information to your loved ones, friends, and families who would probably feel very happy about your recommendation. Very good. Now, look at the third parameter here, retention. How the memory output is related. You can see in the pre assessment, after 5 days, the same data was recalled. You got only 15% out as against 96%. See, the 96% in this particular case, the guy was having a good IQ. That's why, based on his grasping level, first time he called 96% of the data, of course, in a random manner. But many students generally do it between 70 to 80% or 50 to 60% like that. But after 5 days, without letting him review anything, so when we found the data is only 15%. But look at that post. Even after 35 days time, the data is 100%, my friend. That's amazing, isn't it? Incredible, phenomenal, remarkable. That's what you are going to achieve and you are going to come out of your learning difficulties. See that you increased data storing time and there are no complaints of forgetting or fading memory. That's really wonderful. These are all the things you really need to achieve so that your study becomes really wonderful. So, what is the magic behind that? We are going to convert all your usual data inputs into imagery substitution method. So we are going to convert all the data into images and we're going to teach you how to connect them and how to substitute them so that you can probably become one of the best learner and with a lot of grasping power and concentration, and you will be an organized learner. That's wonderful, isn't it? So if you really like this concept and you are really impressed, I would definitely invite you to join our workshop. You can register for that by sending an email to us, and you would be getting the schedule of the workshop. So don't miss it, and it's a wonderful time to have you here. See you again and again in our channel to learn about the other videos. And don't forget, before you leave this channel, go to the video of finding your learner type and understand what type of a learner are you. It's absolutely free, my friend. Please recommend us to all your friends and families. Spread the happiness all around. Thank you very much.